My name is Awais Mohammed Ibrahim. I went to King's Heath Boys School, UK, Birmingham. This is where I completed 8 GCSEs. After this, I went to Joseph Chamberlain College in Birmingham, UK. This is where I completed 3 A-levels in biology, chemistry and maths. After this, I decided to study medicine. I decided to study medicine because I was very interested in the human anatomy and how the human body worked. I decided to study medicine in Lugansk Medical University in Ukraine. After my first year, I transferred to Ivano-Frankivsk Medical University. My course started at 2010 and finished at 2016. After completing my medical degree, I decided to do an online course called TESOL at Arizona University in the United States. The course was about teaching English to speakers of other languages. I had to teach English to people who could not speak English fluently, adults and children. After studying this course, I found teaching to be a much more interesting job than working at a hospital. I found personally teaching to be a much more fulfilling job. I found working with students, specifically young children, to be very fulfilling and very enjoyable. I enjoyed the progress, seeing a student improve. I enjoyed that process very much. Seeing a bad student and making sure the student improves, I enjoyed that process quite a lot. As a result, I decided to apply for a job vacancy at Wisdom Academy, Birmingham, UK. They asked me to do a CRB check to make sure I don't have a criminal record and I'm very safe to work with children. I passed that certificate, I passed that examination, and they found that I don't have any criminal record. I gave that certificate onto my school and I got a job to work with Year 4 students. My duty was to make sure the Year 4 students passed the end of year exam, because the previous year they did not pass. The exam was a week ago, I succeeded, they passed the exam. I'll still work at the school to this present day. I acquired a lot of skills whilst working at Wisdom Academy. The first skill that I acquired was how to conduct meetings with parents. It's a skill how to conduct meetings with parents, because you don't want to be too confrontational and disrespect the parent. At the same time, you don't want to discourage the parent. Another skill that I learned whilst working at Wisdom Academy was how to make sure my students absorb a lot of information. I personally learned that skill from studying medicine, and I passed that because in medicine you have to study a lot of information, you have to absorb a lot of information, there's a lot of exams. So I learned that skill, and the skill that I learned, I passed that on to my students. Another skill that I learned was how to give my students positive reinforcement. I learned the importance of positive reinforcement. At the end of every week, I give my students certificates and stickers to encourage them and to give them confidence. Outside my hours at working at Wisdom Academy, I also work at Small Heath Tuition Centre, where I teach primary school students as well as secondary school students. At Wisdom Academy, I teach English, maths and science. The other subjects such as information technology and woodwork, other teachers teach them. I work at Small Heath Tuition Centre. I teach primary school students as well as secondary school students. Primary school students, I teach them all subjects. We only teach science, maths and English. So I teach them science, maths and English. While secondary school students, I mainly teach them science, biology, physics and chemistry. And I make sure they pass their GCSEs. Sometimes I can cover math teachers, but generally I prefer to teach science to secondary school students. To primary school students, I can teach English, maths and science. In Small Heath Tuition Centre, a lot of my students passed and got very good grades, and my primary school students passed their SATs. It was a very enjoyable experience working at Small Heath Tuition Centre. Thanks for listening to my online CV. Have a good day. Bye-bye.